That is weird. Okay. Are we live again? Yes, the Jaga thumbnail is current mood. I agree. I've got to figure out what's going on with this, guys. Like, this is ridiculous. This is unacceptable. I cannot keep doing things like this. And now it's echoing. Fantastic. There. See if this will correct it. Great. Okay, well, I'm gonna hop on Twitter real quick. I'm gonna show you the glory that is a handsome Squidward Inuyasha that I drew last October that has traumatized many a person. Alright, Neko Boy, it is on Twitter, and you have been tagged in it, sir. You shall see it shortly. One fear. Correct. Yes, Neko Boy, it is like Fist of the North Star. Because that is my preferred anime style. Allspark, if you're still there, if I haven't missed it, I would like to know how you would correct all that. I'm gonna give him a longer face, make him a horse. You are not obeying me. How dare you not obey me? Too far out. I think the Decepticons, depending on the character, of course. Let's be honest here, it always depends on the character. I think overall, they've done better with them. Simply because they're able now to go beyond just, they're a villain because, shut up, they're a villain. I need to step back on this. I goofed on all that real bad. I saw the stuff about him lying. Okay, I saw that. My question was, if you were in charge of writing it, how would you fix it? What would you do differently? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. And thank you, Mijumaru. I'm glad you appreciate my art. My terrible, terrible art. Okay. Stream was buffering. I think they're doing better with the Decepticons now. Because back in the 80s, they didn't really have time, especially in the cartoon, to really get into the nitty-gritty of what they were all about or why they were doing what they did. So I think they're doing much better with them overall. There we go. See, that's okay. Being vague, that's completely different. Vaporwave. I don't know what Vaporwave is. I've listened to a little bit of disco, but I'm an 80s kid, not a 70s kid, so that ship sailed long before I was born. What do I think of Mega Man stories or at least a franchise? I think the games that I grew up with on Mega Man are hard as balls, and I kind of hate the fact that they're so hard. But from what story I have read concerning Mega Man, it seems pretty interesting. Okay, here's what I like more, Allspark. And don't worry, I will get to your question here in a minute, Le Renaissance. Here's what I think the original He-Man cartoon excelled in that the second version that we had in the 2000s didn't. Better characterization concerning the main character himself. And I really think the original series had better world building. Aw, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like my art, because I don't. Oh, absolutely, definitely more personality. But let me go ahead and go back here. Eva La Renaissance. This anime is about the Meiji Revolution and Restoration that happened in Japan. Back in the late 1800s, the American Admiral Perry, fired on Yokohama Harbor. And at this point in time, Japan had annexed itself from the rest of the world. Just completely closed their borders, with the exception of a few countries, for trade. And what happened was the Japanese, who at the time were still, going at it with swords and spears, had this giant, massive black battleship made of steel firing on their harbor, and they didn't know how to react. So what happened was you wound up having two factions within the Japanese government. One that wanted to, what they call, expel the barbarians, meaning kick Westerners out completely, without question, without qualm, immediately. And then you had those who wanted to adapt to our technology, learn our ways, and then kick us out. And what that caused was a massive schism between the two factions and led Japan into a bloody revolution. And this story specifically is about an assassin, or a person cutter as they were called, who worked for what wound up being the winning side, who wound up committing some terrible atrocities and lived the rest of his life in penance over them. And the season I'm covering in it soon is about where he has to, for lack of a better word, deal with the predecessor of his that took over his job once he had retired from it, who is now out for revenge. I really like the sketch version of this hand better. I might go back to that later. Let's see. I like iguanas. I like most reptiles in general. I find them fascinating. So I'd say an 11 out of 10. Do I think evil people not bad? What? Do you think evil people, not bad people, evil people are born or are they created? Well, I'm a Christian, so my understanding of human nature is that we are all born with sin. We are all inherently to a point, wicked in our ways. But I believe evil, like pure unadulterated evil, that's something we have to create within ourselves. I don't think that spurned out into the wilderness, humanity by its nature is going to be as vile and wicked as it possibly can be right out from the start. And I believe that they're not going to be that for two reasons. Number one, we're social creatures, and that doesn't breed much in the way of good social interaction. But also because you can't really function society-wise like that. Is it being bored? Yes, it is, but... Guinea pigs? I like guinea pigs. I don't own any. Due to the fact that I have cats, and that would end very, very badly. But I like guinea pigs just fine. I believe people that are evil, like people who are unquestionably wicked, choose to be that way. I believe it is a conscious choice. Nurture or nature? I don't know. I think that's one of those things where it varies very much so between people. You have people that were raised in the best of households, loving parents, strong moral structure, and they became horrible people. And then you have people who were born in absolute terrible, despondent families and a family structure that rewarded evil and crime and all that, and they became very good people. So I think that varies from person to person. No, I don't like that. To a point, Allspark, I think there are, just statistically there has to be, people who just like doing bad things or doing evil things. You have people that identify it as being wicked by nature. Like, oh, I hurt that person because I like hurting that person. Sometimes there are people who justify their actions. As much as I hate to bring this up, Hitler's one of them. Well, I'm doing what's best for Germany. Well, you're not. You're being a murderous psychopath. But some people just are evil because they like being evil. And I know that's hard to comprehend if you don't have a mindset to that. But some people are just deciding to do that for whatever reason. Well, there are other examples, Mijimaru, like Jeffrey Dahmer. They think, well, yeah, but here's the thing. Some people think their purpose is to be evil. Kittens or puppies? Both. Both. I do not make qualms of which beastie I have. Aha, I think I know what I'll do here. This part. Get some foreshortening here. Did it not repeat as though I told it to? It did not. You dog. Also, pretty soon I'm probably going to set most of the past streams to unlisted, simply so it doesn't clutter the channel. I hope that's okay with everybody. That's a hard question, Jeremy. As a Christian, I believe people can change. I believe they can repent. I believe they can be reformed. However, there are some things people do that are so heinous, that are so unadulteratedly wicked that we can't really trust them to be in society anymore. What the screen? Streams. Sorry, Allspark. I probably stuttered a little there. So, as much as I hate to say it, sometimes either the death penalty or life in prison is the only real choice we have. See, the thing is, I don't know if Donald Trump's evil or if he's just a moron. Never attribute to wickedness or evil what can be attributed to stupidity. That I learned a very long time ago. And I've also learned that you can have somebody who's just unabashedly evil, and they may not be able to do as much damage as somebody who's just completely stupid. SpongeBob or Wow Wow Wubsy? What the heck is a Wow Wow Wubsy? Stormblitz? No, it's the fact that my connection keeps dying and then starting back up, then dying and doing all that. He might be, Allspark. I don't know. Alright, are we back yet? Everybody alive? Alright, everybody's alive. Let's go ahead and get this wrapped up so we don't have to deal with that again. Because we will if we keep this going. Yeah, you lied. Alright, so let me scroll up, because I know I got piled in with a bunch of stuff when that all died. Which do I prefer, moths or butterflies? I like Mothra the best. She is the queen moth. Okay, so before I end the stream, any other questions, comments, concerns, threats, mockery? I'm willing to take all in. See here? Alright, not too bad, I suppose. Getting the desired effect I want here. I don't either, Allspark, so let's not discuss politics in these streams, because number one, I don't think I'm suited to it, and number two, it's just draining. And we're here to have fun, right? My favorite anime? Man, that's hard to say, because anime is not genre specific. I guess it would come down to genre. So when it comes to action-adventure, it would be Fist of the North Star. Superhero genre would be Gatchaman. Super robot, it would be Gao Gaigar. Real robot, it would be Gundam 0083. Action romance, Sailor Moon. They were not bad. Not at all, Jeremy. I have not written a fanfic. If I did, it's way on the annals of time, back when I was a teenager, that I either blocked out because I hate fanfiction or I can't remember. Thank you, Allspark. You have an entire website full of fans of you, man. So don't look down on yourself either, man. I think you could do a lot more. What you need, Allspark, you need to watch Gao Gaigar. I think that'd be right up your alley. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's one of those animes that, man, it is exactly what it says on the tin. Nah, Cal. If everybody hated you, they wouldn't be on your website. Creativity enemy. Alright, I'll go ahead and give it another 2 minutes, guys. Creative enemies. Oh, we're gonna have an in-depth discussion about the themes of Evangelion and why Shinji should just get in the robot. I will consider that, Jeremy. One Piece, Stormblitz, I value One Piece on its character design, but the story just drags on for me, man. I can't keep up with it. When you're 800 episodes in, dude, I gotta tap out. Flip flappers. The heck is a flip flapper? Before I forget, last time, ooh, that was a while ago. Alright, before I forget, oh, I love Little Witch Academia. But before I forget, if anybody has any 80s themed art, and this also includes remakes or reboots, that's fine too, that you would like shown on the channel, go ahead and let me know. Put a tag, whether it be on Tumblr or Twitter, of Lio feature my art. If it's Thundercats, I will put it on my Thundercat videos. If it's anything else, it'll go on any other videos I do. So I'm going to go ahead and wish you guys a good night, and I will hopefully see you next week. Got a door. Completely forgot how to shut this thing off.